All right. I was just wondering if anybody is available to chat for a little bit or something like that. I don't know. It's easier to see my um, phone right now because it's dark out because it's 8:45 and I'm just now going home from the office. I mean, this is just crazy. Owning your own business really, really sucks. It's just not what it's cracked up to be. So anyway, I was at the office a little bit late. I was at the office a little bit late because I was composing a letter to the to a judge, and it has to do with my friend was killed. Somebody deliberately overdosed him on fentanyl back in June, and I was composing a letter to the judge because I wasn't happy, or I'm not happy, with what the county prosecutor asked for. Um, she asked for only 10 years. That was the plea bargain they made. And that's bullshit. This woman who overdosed my friend, and they're up to 4 suspects now. They've caught 4 different people associated with my friend's killing. But this woman, she deliberately overdosed my friend on fentanyl. She injected him while he was unconscious. And he'd never taken any kind of narcotics or anything like that. And then when she could tell that he was overdosing, she injected him again. And and then she left his body. They lived in the house, in Jim's house, for 2 weeks after Jim was dead. They lived in his house with his body. You couldn't get to the kitchen or the bathroom without having stepped over him. And Jim wasn't a narcotics user. I've known Jim since I was 15. I met him shortly after I met my husband, and my husband introduced me to him. My husband worked with him for 20 years. They worked side by side, and a lot of times they were assigned the same jobs. So there's no way that they could have. There's no way that they could have that he could have hidden an IV drug problem. So yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Yeah, and I've got I don't have any mods, but anyway, so I'm just gonna ignore you guys. Not you guys, just I'm gonna ignore the assholes. But anyway, I composed a letter to the judge, you know, pointing out to him that um, I live in a state right next to West Virginia. And even with all of these fentanyl deaths, my state doesn't have any laws to prosecute people adequately for drug-induced homicide. And they stole my friend's car. He was over 50, and he'd been collecting handguns and rifles since he was a teenager. So he had 3 gun safes full of uh, he had 3 gun safes full of handguns. It was more than 50 handguns. And his wife has already started getting calls for, returning his guns, that they're being found all over the state. So they've already gotten a couple of them back, that, they were picked up in different drug busts. And thankfully, none of them have been involved in any murders or anything, or deaths or anything like that. But I wrote the judge, has to be a 3-page handwritten letter. And, I tried to keep it factual. And, Jim was just now in, what do they call it? When his cancer had stopped growing. I can't remember it. My brain is frazzled. Remission, that's what it is. He hadn't even been in remission from cancer for a year. And his cancer he had stage 4 prostate cancer. And, so it's pretty fucked up what this woman did to him. And I'm going to do her one better right now. I'm not going to tell you guys what her name is, because, then you could find her daughter and stuff. But, I'm not going to say her name. And I was looking it up, and, other states, West Virginia being one of them, drug-induced homicide is upwards of 30 years. It's not even that in my state. That's not even what my county prosecutor asked for. Not even 20 years, just 10. 10. And that's a definite sentence. That doesn't have to do with any of the gun charges, the theft or the robbery or the abuse of a corpse or any of that. Any of that. I'm sorry, this is probably a big letdown for a lot of people, but I was on my way home from the office. I thought I would pop in and talk to you guys. It was fun earlier, when Pooh and Roxy stopped by. But yeah. So I wrote the judge a letter. I pointed out that all the other states around me have drug-induced homicide laws, but not my state, not mine. So, it's really wrong that we don't have more drug-induced homicide laws, because those aren't just accidents. And my friend, he wasn't even conscious. He was passed out drunk, and somebody did that to him when he was passed out drunk. They did that on purpose. They did that to kill him because they wanted his guns and his car and his computer and his freaking, a couple of his TVs. And they lived there in his house. They played pool on his pool table. I mean, what kind of sick fuck does that? If you're a piece of shit. And this woman's only in her 30s. She's going to get 10 years? What the fuck ever. Bullshit. She would be in her 40s when she gets out. She would be just a little bit older than me. Actually, she would still be younger than me. But yeah, this bitch, she let my friend's body lay there until, I guess, it got too bad to live with anymore. Guess they were squatting. And they squatted in his house. Somebody, and here's the zinger. My friend, he met the people that killed him. He met them through AA. Court ordered AA. How fucked up is that? Yeah. So, yeah, right now they're just focusing on getting the first woman tried. And they've got 3 other people in jail. The guy that was actually in the car with her when they found the car was, he's in a neighboring county jail for a felony. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. These laws are messed up. They don't give people enough time in jail. They really need more time. Never before have, in the past, I always supported the death penalty only for the sheer fact that it protected the guards and the other prisoners that were in prison. That was the only reason. I just thought it was reasonable, logical. What are you going to do? Keep paying for this person to be in jail or prison? But now I kind of see the pound of flesh in it, because we're not gonna get Jim back. It doesn't, this just putting her in jail for 30 years. That's not gonna give us Jim back. None of it. Not gonna get him back. And what kind of empty justice is a murder conviction? That's empty. It doesn't mean anything. You don't get the person back. It's not good enough. I don't know what is good enough, but that sure isn't good enough. Yeah, I don't know. They maybe handwrite the letter. I don't even know if they're gonna be able to, if the judge is gonna be able to read it. Just, yeah, I mean, in drug-induced homicide, wouldn't that would, cover, assisted suicide, stuff like that. But yeah. So I lost my friend. That's what I put up on my community post several weeks ago is, we got a really good indictment back. I was really happy with the indictment. It was reckless homicide, involuntary homicide, possession of fentanyl with a firearm, possession of cocaine with a firearm, abuse of a corpse, theft with a firearm. It was a whole bunch of shit. But yeah, the county prosecutor, when it came down to the wire, they really screwed us. So I'm hoping if I go around them that maybe a letter to the judge will get us a better result. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, what is it? How is that justice? It's not. It's not justice at all. My husband lost his best friend. He's known that guy. He's known Jimmy since 1989. 1989. What were you doing in 1989? I met my husband in 19. Well, it was. No, I'm sorry. He's known Jimmy since 91. 91, because he was here for a couple years before he got a job working as an electrician, because the economy was crap. But anyway, yeah. So met my husband in 91. Yeah. So yeah, our justice system is fucked. I mean, people come. I'm sure that there's people that have done more time for selling a whole bunch of pot or transporting it. Frick pot. And this woman, she's got other felonies before this. Before this. You know, she was just in and out of, you know, jail and prison, and just didn't, obviously it didn't get through her thick skull. And now she killed someone when they were passed out unconscious. They couldn't even do anything. They couldn't even get up and walk away or push her away or anything. And Jim couldn't really, you know, he was still getting better from surgery. He was still, not that he like, he would shuffle. He couldn't pick up his feet like he did, like when we were younger. He couldn't pick up his feet. And yeah, so yeah, it's pretty fucked up. All of that for some guns. Just ridiculous. They left all the long guns behind, but you know, I guess that makes sense. You know, you'd only want handguns. They didn't take any of his knife collection. They took his coin collection, but you know, I don't know who gives a shit about a coin collection. So I just can't believe he's gone. I mean, they caught the people really fast. I keep thinking about him, and you know, we used to go camping, and he helped us put a, you know, a new roof on our old house. He helped us build our new house. He helped us move into our new house. Helped us move into our new house the week between Christmas and January. It's fucking cool as shit. But he was there and he helped us move into our new house. Jim was a good friend for a long time. We would go camping with him in the national forest near us, and he knew all these great places to go camping. Even there was one time, we were gonna go camping, and it was this one site that there was like a stream. He said, you know, there's a stream you have to cover. And we went through, or we were going up there, and it was like, he was like, wow, it's kind of swollen, but I don't think it's that deep. It was up to, I'm not even kidding you guys, it was up to the bottom of the doors on our truck. It was like, and we were like completely freaked out because he only had a car. We had to take all of his camping stuff out of the car and then put it in our truck along with our dogs. They had their dog. We had our two dogs. And we just put all of this shit. We just had it like the back of the truck just stacked so high with crap. And we went through this really swollen stream that it was, you know, we had a Toyota Tundra. I mean, this is back in like 96. And we had this Toyota Tundra, and it was up to the bottom of where the, you know, like where the door shut. I mean, it didn't get wet inside, but it was crazy. It was just nuts. It was a great camping spot. It was all up in a pine forest, and it was the longer pine needles. And it just smelled so, I remember it smelled so good. We had a lot of good times with Jim. The only person I have ever known that could cook on a campfire. You would get a grate, and you'd have a pan, and he cooked on it. And he made great scrambled eggs. But, and now he's gone. We can't go over to his house. We're afraid. Not if, I mean, just the idea that Jim's not there. Me and my husband spent countless hours sitting out in the garage, listening to the students' radio station at Denison, which was really, they used to play all kinds of crazy stuff. Like they would play like Steve Miller Band and then a boy named Sue or something like that. It was just all kind of crazy stuff. But yeah, I talked to, sorry, I'm bouncing around. It's kind of just this, you know, stream of consciousness. But I talked to one of the secretaries in the judge's office, and she said that the conference where the judge will either accept or reject the plea deal is Friday. So I had to hurry up and get my letter and at least have my say. And I even tried before they went to, I don't know, maybe it's why the county prosecutor felt like she could bail on me. I asked her to, really go for a lot of stuff to, try to convict this woman on. And they went for a lot of stuff in front of the grand jury. And then, yeah, 10 years. 10 years for killing somebody while they're unconscious. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. But they're still working on the other people. And they're tracking down to see if there's any, kind of tracking backwards where they get the different guns from. They're going kind of track backwards, trying to track where the guns came from, where they were passed through different people's hands, trying to go backwards and figure out, where all the hands that these guns went through and find more people to prosecute. And for that, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful that our sheriff's office is doing something, at least picking these people up, scaring the shit out of them, something. But yeah, it's been heavy on my mind. It's been heavy on my mind for a couple months now. And his poor wife, the, what is it, like victim services or something? Oh, victims advocate. I mean, the victims advocate, the guy's wife, was really, really helpful. Like, because when she got the insurance company out there, Karen had already cleaned up, most of it. I guess there was like a lot of fentanyl in the car that they stole. Well, the car is still in evidence. But it was all over the house. And Karen didn't know any better. She picked it up. She cleaned up a whole bunch of goddamn fentanyl and cocaine. Jesus Christ. The fuck? It could have killed Karen too. And she cleaned it up, but then the victim's advocate, his wife, she helped Karen get, I guess you have coverage for if there's a murder committed in your house as well. And she had the insurance company come out and give her a new quote on replacing the floor. and a whole bunch of stuff in one of the bathrooms. But yeah, yeah, it's really fucked up. They have to replace part of their floor because somebody killed him and left his body on the floor for 2 weeks. And I keep thinking of, I used to be a Christian, and I think it's Psalm 139:13, where it says that, you know, God knit us together. I mean, knit, think about that. If you know how it's very, there's a lot to it. But that God knit us together in our mother's womb. And it's like I keep thinking about that, just that Jim was somebody's baby. And is this what his mother dreamt of? Is this the future that she envisioned when the first time that she held him? Is this it? No, of course not. Of course not. And, the woman that killed him, she's the mother. You think she envisioned this for her children, which the first time that she held them? What is this? This is completely something. This is me rambling about writing a letter to the judge about a woman who murdered my friend. That's what this is. Just me rambling, and talking about my friend's murder, and that they that they pled this woman down for down to 10 years. And this woman, my friend was passed out, and she injected him with fentanyl. Not once, but twice. And they only want to put her in jail for 10 years. Pretty fucked up. So, hopefully I'll get somewhere with my letter. You'll see. Don't somebody while they're unconscious. Jesus Christ. At least let them be conscious. I mean, if that's not the ultimate cowardice. I hope that's an empathy. I'm worried. I'm scared that it won't be enough. That my letter won't be enough to impress upon this judge that they way underpled this woman. Way underpleaded. Yeah. Nobody deserves to die like that. Jim didn't use narcotics. He was an alcoholic. That's it. Just an alcoholic. Somebody shot him up with fentanyl. The fuck? Oh, and then there's the credit cards. I think they've counted more than $60,000 in fraud. That's the charges that actually went through. That doesn't even count the other cards that this dumb broad applied for. Are they charging her for that? Nope. So I'm almost home. How long have I been on here? Oh, it's only about 40 minutes to get home. But I'm probably going to get off here and see my husband and probably, I guess, go on about our evening and probably check in on my friend's wife, see how she's doing. She's not staying at the house right now. I don't know if I could ever go back to that house. Somebody did that to my husband. I don't think I could. I really don't. Just, yeah, she's not sure what she's going to do with the house. But I mean, if you guys saw where they lived, I mean, it was like super way tucked back. Like it was a one street. I don't even know if it was a street. Oh, it was a drive. That's what the address was, drive. It was a quote unquote drive, a one drive development with maybe a dozen houses. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, everything's going okay, Anne. Everything's going all right. But yeah, somebody, they called her out there to kill him. They did. So, yeah, just hope for a better sentence or prison justice. Yeah, I never knew how that just, I guess, emptiness, feeling like you got cheated by this kind of a sentence. I mean, it really puts a very different perspective on it. So, yeah, just, but that's about it. I just wanted to, I guess, ramble and talk about, just talk about the letter that I wrote to the judge, kind of how I felt about it. So, yeah, haven't really felt like doing a whole lot of video. It's kind of hard to see the irony and the funny and stuff when your friend's been murdered and judge isn't doing the right thing by you or your friend's family, any of that. So, all right, you guys have a better evening. I appreciate y'all listening to me.